And joining us now on the phone from his Manhattan headquarters is Mr. Trump. So let's take the terrorist act, and everybody now believes that's true because the French authorities have turned over the investigation to their anti-terror unit. If this is proven to be the case, I believe it's a world war now. We're in a world war scenario. It's no longer just isolated ISIS attacks. Do you agree with that?
I certainly do, and I've been saying it for a long time, and it's out of control, and we don't call it what we have a president that doesn't want to call it what it is. And, you know, you look at World Trade Center, you look at San Bernardino, you look at Paris, 130 people killed and so many injured in Paris from that attack, and you look at Orlando, it's out of control. And Bill, unless we get strong and you know, really strong and very, very smart leadership, it's only going to get worse.
Okay, but let's do tactics tonight, because you could be president in 5 months and then another 2 to be sworn in. If it's a world war, then you have to mobilize NATO. You have to get all the NATO countries to say, we are going to commit forces, both ground and air, to wipe ISIS off the face of the earth.
Right.
Do you not? Do you know?
I would say that would be just fine, and I've been saying it. We should use NATO for a purpose. I mean, we're spending a fortune on NATO. We have countries in NATO that don't make a fair contribution. We're supporting NATO, and we should at least get something out of it. And getting rid of ISIS and getting rid of this cancer that we're watching all over the world, that certainly would be a good thing.
All right.
A good thing for NATO to be involved in.
Would you go to Congress and ask for a declaration of war?
I would. I would. This is war. If you look at it, this is war coming from all different parts. And frankly, it's war, and we're dealing with people without uniforms. You know, in the old days, would have uniforms. You knew what you were fighting. These people were allowing people into our country who we have no idea where they are, where they're from, who they are. They have no paperwork. They have no documentation in many cases. And Hillary Clinton wants to allow 550% more in than even Obama. And he's letting them in by the thousands.
Okay.
It's out of control.
We may have Secretary Clinton later on in the broadcast. We're efforting to get her on as well. There have been, or there will be by the end of the summer, 10,000 Syrian refugees, 20% women, 60% children, 20% men. So 10,000 have been earmarked. They'll be here by the end of the summer. Do you consider those people threats? Do you consider them security threats?
Of course I do. We have no idea. We have no idea in many cases, and I've been studying the situation so closely. Law enforcement says that you really can't tell where they come from. They may be ISIS. This could be the great Trojan horse of all time. I mean, this could be.
All right. So
you
consider the 10,000 refugees to be threats. Now, the president just made a statement. I'm going to read you just the first line of it, and you can react to it. On behalf of the American people, I condemn in the strongest terms what appears to be a horrific terrorist attack in Nice, France, which killed and wounded dozens of innocent civilians. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families and loved ones of those killed. Now, again, he said terrorist attack. We don't know if it's ISIS, but the odds, the heavy odds are, the 100 to 1 odds are that it is ISIS that would carry out something like this on a so-called soft target, because Paris is a war zone now. I mean, the security is so tight there. You, I know, have been on the record as blaming Barack Obama as being far too soft on fighting Islamic terrorism. Do you think this is going to change the equation tonight?
You never know with him. I mean, why he refuses to use the term radical Islamic terror. And frankly, in this case, wait a little while and let's see what happens. Who knows? Maybe you'll be surprised, and maybe we'll all be surprised.
Certainly possible. Certainly possible, but not probable.
It's possible, but let's just wait. It won't take long to find out.
No, they know now. And as I just reported, the French police would not have handed it over to the anti-terror forces inside France if they didn't suspect terrorism. Now, this is directly...
Wait. We have a president that doesn't want to acknowledge what our problem is. He doesn't want to use the term radical Islamic terror. We have a person running against me, Hillary Clinton, that frankly, if I didn't force her to use it, and she still hasn't used the term, but she said she would if she had to.
Okay.
But she's another one. She is very weak, and she's actually the one, and him, that really caused much of this problem.
By the failure to keep troops in Iraq, and then that raised up ISIS. They were able to organize because we didn't have American forces there. Okay, now, this directly affected you. NBC News reported that you chose Governor Mike Pence as your vice president, that he got on a plane in Indianapolis and flew to Teterboro, New Jersey. Is that accurate?
Well, I'm not going to comment on anything. I just think it's
you can just say it's accurate, or is NBC News reporting accurately?
Hold it 1 second.
Okay.
NBC News often doesn't report accurately. That I can tell you.
But in this case,
let me just tell you, I had a news conference planned for tomorrow, and out of respect for this horrific situation, I just think it was inappropriate to have the news conference tomorrow, so I postponed the news conference, and we'll announce tomorrow when it will be.
Okay.
But I just felt in light of this horrible situation, this horrible attack, it would be inappropriate tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock to have a news conference.
Yeah, and I think most people would agree with that. Can you tell me if Governor Pence is in New York tonight? I might want to take him out after.
You have to call him, but let me just say this. I have great respect for Governor Pence, but I also have great respect for Newt. I have great respect for Chris Christie. We have some tremendous people in the Republican Party, but I'll be making the announcement at the appropriate time, Bill.
Okay, you guys are slotted to do 60 Minutes on Sunday, and I know they're expecting you to show up, so you'll be there with your VP pick, correct?
Well, in light of what's happened tonight, in light of this, absolutely horrific attack, I'm not sure that I'm feeling good about doing 60 Minutes, and I'm not sure that 60 Minutes is going to want to do anything other than this attack. We have to get to the bottom of this. There's something very evil going on. There's something very bad going on, and we better get awfully tough and awfully smart and vigilant very, very quickly, because our world is becoming a much, much different place.
Well, as we both agree, it's a world war now, and it better be acknowledged that. Now, let me ask you this. Many, many Americans are afraid. They're afraid across the board of terrorism. They're afraid of you. They're afraid of Hillary Clinton. They're just afraid. I mean, that's all the polls show that. If you are going to then launch us into a war, all right, and Congress would have to approve it, and you know all that, are you confident that we could win this war quickly against ISIS and these terrorists? Because it's not hard to drive a truck into 1,000 people and kill scores. It's not hard to do that.
We're going to have to make a very big statement. Right now, they're making us look so bad. We're going to have to make a very big statement. Our youth is being lost to us, much of our youth, where they're joining ISIS because they think ISIS is winning. We have to make a very big and a very bold and a very strong statement. As far as being afraid of me, everything I see that they like me. I am the person that's believing in law and order, okay? We need law and order in our country. We need to stop with the borders. We need to stop allowing people to come into our country who we don't know where they're from and who they are, and there's going to be plenty of them from ISIS. I used to say possibly, but now it's almost inevitable that's what it's going to be. We have over 1,000 investigations going on right now on radical Islamic terror, right now, more than we've ever had. And now Hillary Clinton and Obama want to allow more people into our country. What are they doing?
Are you, if you're going to run as the law and order candidate, as you say you are you going to replace Loretta Lynch as Attorney General and James Comey as the head of the FBI? Are you going to do that?
Well, I don't want to comment on that, but of course, I was very disappointed when I saw what happened when you go over point after point. She was proven to be a liar. She got rid of 33,000 emails. She did so many things that were so dishonest. And then to hear that she gets a pass and that other people, Bill,
I can't imagine that you would
their lives are ruined and destroyed. I mean, that was terrible.
But if you shake up the FBI and the Attorney General, not so much. I mean, Chris Christie can do that job. But if you shake up the FBI, that would be,
Well, just so you understand, I'm a big fan of the FBI, but I was very surprised at what took place last week.
All right, and that was Director Comey's call. You know that some people in the FBI wanted her to be indicted, and I believe that to be true. Now, is it possible, and I hate to ask questions like this, but I must because everybody's locked in on the campaign and what's going to happen. Is it possible that you had your vice president selected, and because of this terror attack, you changed your mind, or you're leaning in another direction? Did the terror attack influence your selection of your vice president?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
What's happened is I think it would be totally inappropriate to have a news conference on a vice presidential pick tomorrow in light of, so many people
whoever you picked, and NBC News is reporting it's Pence, and they didn't couch it. They just said Donald Trump is picking Pence. Pence got on a plane. He's in New York now. NBC News didn't couch it. They said this is what it is.
It will have nothing to do with this attack.
All right, and nothing to do. That's a good piece of information.
But I will tell you, we will be very, very strong if I win. We will be very, very strong, and we will be very, very smart.
Okay. Now, I have to give Mr. Trump a compliment, whether you like him or not, you're going to vote for him or not, whatever. Donald Trump reacts, all right? When we call Donald Trump, and he is the Republican nominee, all right, and you want to hear what he thinks about a terror attack in France, he gets on the phone with what? 8 minutes, did I cajole you? I yelled at you for 8 minutes, but you got on the phone, you talked to the American people directly, and I think everybody has to admire that. I really do. You want a last word on it?
Well, I appreciate your statement, but to me it's routine, it's automatic. We had a horrific attack. Many people, I mean, they have no idea how many people. I just saw scenes on television, Bill, that may be the worst scenes I've ever seen, the bodies laying in the street.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to show it so much. We have to get smart. We have to get this stopped. We're living in a different world. This is no good.
No.
So when you call, and you're right, 8 minutes or 5 minutes or 2 minutes, it doesn't.
No, I mean, I really have to compliment you, and people have to know that you were in a meeting, you came out of the meeting, you got on the phone with us to talk to the American people directly, and that's what the American people need.
Hey,
they
Bill,
need to hear from their leadership.
This is a terrible thing that's happening to the world. And when you say a phone call, it's obvious what has to be done. And we're living in this politically correct place where you have a president that won't say what it is. He won't talk about the problem. No, I believe in being direct, and I believe in solving problems.
All right.
And other people can't do that.
Well, tens of millions of people heard you now, and we appreciate you coming on very much.